everybody. I am Peter Guzzino.
I'm Tommy.
And
I'm Danny.
And this is T&D Productions, A Talk at the Table. And this week, we're delving into something that's a little bit controversial. Have you witnessed anything that's a little unusual? Meaning something that doesn't usually happen or shouldn't happen based on what we know from science and what we've learned in school, or something a little strange.
Something, you mean supernatural?
A little bit like supernatural, yes. Something outside the natural, something maybe outside the normal. You could say paranormal.
Paranormal.
Yes. So that's what we'll be talking about today.
Paranormal.
Yes.
Like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, something like Ghostbusters, except for real.
Like that Ghost movie? Well, 1990.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze.
Maybe without the love story, but could that really happen? Do you think that
What?
Ghost is...
A ghost possessed Whoopi Goldberg? I think that did happen.
I think that might have happened several times. But aside from possession, that's another thing altogether, you know. Before we have a possession of someone, we have to have an extra spirit, a disembodied spirit, you know. Well, can they even exist? Some people have debated that whether or not spirits exist.
I don't know about my own personal experience, but I have heard stories.
Okay.
One time I was in Key West, Florida. Visiting the museum there called Fort East Morello Museum. There, as one of their exhibits, they have something called Robert the Doll. Have you heard that story about Robert the Doll?
I've heard of haunted dolls before, but I haven't heard of Robert the haunted doll.
This doll was the actual doll that inspired Chucky.
Huh.
Yes, well, this doll, the story is a little vague. There's different stories of how it came about, but it all has to do with something that happened over 100 years ago now, when this well-to-do family called the Otto family in Key West, OTTO.
Okay, like Otto Bismarck, not Otto, like automobile.
Right. Yeah. Otto. Okay, the Otto family in Key West, Florida, they had a son. His name was Robert Eugene Otto. This little kid, he got a present one time.
An automobile.
A doll.
Uh-huh.
A doll. And he loved the doll so much. A doll, yes. He dressed up this doll in his clothes, and carried around the doll wherever he went, did things with the doll. Well, it just so happens the housekeeper at the time was a Romani, gypsy.
Oh.
And she was fired from her job. She was kind of angry about being fired because supposedly Otto's or Eugene's mother saw her doing some sort of ritual that she didn't like. She gave the doll to little boy Robert Eugene, but before she gave it to him, she cursed the doll. Okay, and like I said, Gene, he goes by Gene. He decided to name the doll Robert. Yeah,
he really liked his name, I guess.
So there was some strange things happening in that house ever since then. In Gene's room, and toys got messed up and broken, and furniture got turned upside down. He always blamed it on Robert did it. He always said Robert did it. I mean, and the parents think, oh, it's just a kid making stories. But there have been other ones about their neighbors. Their neighbors have said they see the doll peeking out the window and moving around when they're not home.
A living doll?
Yeah. The neighbor says that they seen that doll, but that's not the end of the story. What Gene's parents did was they took the doll and put it up into the attic. And years later, Gene is all grown up into a man. He inherited his father's estate. He goes up into the attic. He finds Robert in the box.
The doll.
He says, "I remember this thing." He takes it out and puts it into the family living room. because they're living at the house now.
Kind of
And
strange,
yeah, it's
too,
kind of strange thing. His wife
oh,
was
there's an old doll I
his
used to
wife
play
was
with.
freaked out. His wife was freaked out about it.
Was it missing an
But-
eye, or was it missing like a head? Or
Well,
was
it was wore out. It was
yeah.
old. By this, it was like 30 years old at this time. But strange things started happening again. Eugene Otto, he died in 1972. The doll was put into the attic
Again.
after he died. So somebody came and bought the house, bought the old Otto estate, and found a little tiny girl, like 7 or 8 years old. She found the doll in the attic in 1972. Her parents didn't want her to keep it, so they donated it to the museum, the Key West Fort East Morello Museum in Key West. And there it was kept in a glass case. When people come by to see the doll and laugh at it or take pictures of it, strange things start happening. They get cursed. Bad things happen to them. One guy died after visiting the museum. After laughing at the doll.
like more immediately because lots of people die.
Yes. And you're supposed to ask Robert's permission to take a picture of him, or to take a video of him. I saw him. I asked his permission. I don't want to come back to Korea with a curse on my.
So did you just do that just to play it safe, or do you really
To
think
play
that
it safe, you know.
that is interesting because it takes a little bit of belief that a doll could curse you.
In the museum, there are many letters from people all around the world saying, "Dear Robert, I'm sorry for what I did. Please lift this curse from me. I will take you seriously."
Okay, well, that is definitely paranormal. It's not really a ghost, but that is just something that is outside what you would think should happen.
Yeah, it's still
Yes.
haunting, though.
Yeah, it is. What do you think of that, Tommy?
I don't know, interesting story. Yeah. But a doll is kind of, I don't know how a doll can be cursed by people.
What would cause it to be cursed? Just like,
Child's Play? No, we don't have.
again, that is a movie.
Yeah,
so,
it's
I
a
mean,
movie, yeah.
we're trying to get down to the bare bones of can this happen? Does this happen? Why does this happen? You know, those kind of questions.
And I never had dolls or toys when I was young.
No toys.
Toys are little toys, but not that kind of dolls.
You have any cursed objects?
Like,
No, I
a
don't-
box?
No, I don't believe it. Cursed things, about haunted things, or
Well, the question is that, well, whether or not you believe it, what's the evidence? You have all those letters of people writing and saying, "I'm sorry." Did something bad happen to them because they didn't ask the doll permission to?
I guess they're blaming the doll for the
misfortune.
misfortune. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Because
interesting.
they were okay until they met the doll, scoffed at the doll, took his picture, whatever.
And then things happen, but sometimes people have a bit of bad luck, and it's not good luck or bad luck. It's just bad things happen. Between the East and the West, we have our different conceptions of what a ghost should look like. In the West, in America, in England, we have that stereotypical look of ghosts that may be people, or not people, but like some kind of a white sheet or something. And I
Yes,
think that's
yes,
supposed to
that's
be
really
from
burial shroud.
the old burial shrouds, yeah. But what is it like in the Orient? What's it like in Asia or points? Is it different? Is it the same? How do people perceive ghosts in Korea, for example?
Ghosts in Korean, you say Guzzin.
Okay.
Guzzin is something. I don't know. Korean ghost Guzzin, for example, usually female ghost. It's not usually male ghost. It's a female ghost, wearing drooping hanbok. You know hanbok. Hanbok is worn for funerals. Yeah.
Interesting.
In maybe back then in Joseon Dynasty, Joseon era, some female girls are died or killed or suicide, whatever, and if they have some grudges on earth on people, they don't want to go to underground, underworld. So if there are, how to say, then sometimes they stay in this world and to haunt place and try to take some attention from people.
Interesting.
Well, the one I researched is a little bit more recent than the Shonen Dynasty.
Yeah, that was over 100 years ago.
Yeah, this one dates back to probably World War II.
Okay.
This story is the story of Hanuku-san.
Haruko-san.
Hanaku-san.
Hanako-san.
Yeah, she was a school-age girl. During a time, she was playing hide and seek during recess at her school. And her hiding spot was the bathroom. So during this time, some American bombers came and bombed the school while she was in there, and she got crushed. She couldn't leave.
Tragic.
So ever since then, there's been a legend saying that there's a ghost named Hanuku-san in the third stall of every third floor bathroom in Japan. And what you do before you go in there, if you see that the third door stall is locked, and you don't see any feet under there, you have to knock and say, Hanuku-san, are you there? And we'll wait for her to answer something like, yes, I'm here, or something like that. Sometimes, if she doesn't like you, she'll open the door and grab you and take you in, and take you down the toilet into hell.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can only go in there if you're brave.
Interesting. Is there any what evidence? What's any truth in the background story? I mean, have people actually looked into the history of this?
I'm not sure if they looked in the background. It's like a legend that went around about it.
There's a lot of
It
ghosts
could
and
just
legends.
be a story to scare
An
children or
interesting
something.
story. Yeah, probably it is. I was also wondering if there's much difference between the ghosts of Japan and the ghosts of Korea, because she's still a female and she's haunting a school. I think I've seen a lot of ghost stories based in Korea, wherein the ghost dwells in a school. Right?
Maybe
Maybe that's just a
female
recent.
in history, maybe females are more have been oppressed, in history in Asian maybe countries. That's why usually female could be can have more can be like victims via male.
Right.
That's why maybe all those ghosts are female ghosts. It's a very rare thing to see a male ghost in Korea.
That's interesting because
Because the males are all males always have the right. You have strong and physically strong, and they are in high position in society. But but women's are more like in a position where they are always being oppressed. That's why maybe concubines are also one of our systems in history. So a lot of concubines, and not in the kings in the palace, but the ordinary, youngman or rich people could have those concubines in his house, and they oppressing them. Sometimes the women are die or suicide, whatever. That's why maybe a lot of sad stories going on in this country, maybe in Asian countries. That's why those stories can be folklore.
that seems to lend itself to why it may be folklore. But I've been interested in ghosts for a very, very long time. I've read ghost stories. I've read supposed scientific accounts of just observation of unusual things, and that's why I was curious about the subject. And in the U.S., at least, there have been people that have taken tape recorders and the cameras and just sat overnight just to witness what could happen in various locations. Would you be interested in?
I don't believe in the whole EVP.
What's an EVP?
EVP, the electronic voice phenomenon.
Oh.
I don't believe that exists. Do you know about this, EVP? It stands for electronic voice phenomenon, and they say you could take an analog tape, cassette tape, a blank one, and record on it, and put it into a room with silence and just ask questions, just plainly ask questions. But you can't hear anything, but the cassette tape can pick up voices, and when you play back a tape and turn the level up all the way up, they say you can hear people respond to your questions. Why I don't believe in this is I heard some supposed recordings, and what the person does before they play the recording is tell you what they said, so you have that in your mind already. Okay, you hear, Ghost, are you here? You know, on the recording you hear something that sounds like yes, something like that. But you know, it's just tape noise. It's just normal tape noise. But the guy will say, I heard them say yes. Now listen to it. Listen to this. Turns it up. Listen, it's right here. Yes. And you hear tape noise, but in your mind you hear yes.
So it's like the old joke about the man who has a dog who can talk. Oh, this is my dog. He can talk. Ask him what his name is. What's your name? Ruff. Oh, did you hear that? His name is Ralph. Oh, how does wood feel? Ruff. Oh, he said rough. See, he's a genius. He can talk. That kind of thing, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That could explain it away. However, in other cases, people sit and they record things that they don't use digital. I mean, they don't use just a magnetic tape. They might actually use digital recording. And there are some things that are recorded or things that they have taken pictures of that they have no accounting for. Other than we can't explain how this got in the picture. So that kind of stuff intrigues me. What about you guys out there? What do you think? Do ghosts exist? Is there anything to EVPs? Or can an object be haunted? Have you had any experiences of those things? We might discuss more on this topic later with T&D Productions. But if you like it, we definitely will. So hit that bell icon and subscribe. Find us on Twitter and Facebook. Till next time, keep searching for the real answers.